Milford High School Scarlet Hawks.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome once again inside the football field here at Milford High School, as Milford TV is happy to bring you coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics. This is Tim Coet on the call for this Friday night, week 4 of the high school football season, and a pair of unbeaten teams are about to take the field here in Milford tonight as your 3-0 Scarlet Hawks play host to the 3-0 Attleboro Bombardiers. This is the first week of divisional matchups across the Hockomock League and across the state of Massachusetts after 3 weeks of non-conference play. And so Milford really took care of business in those first 3 weeks of the season. Dominant victories in the first 2 weeks against opponents that we covered here on Milford TV, a 42-0 victory over Bridgewater Raynham. They followed that up with a comfortable 34-14 victory against Wellesley High School. Last week, Milford played what is their only road game until October 28th, and that was a matchup against the Natick Redhawks. That's been a nice rivalry that's been brewing over the last couple of seasons, and Milford ended up walking away with a 42-27 victory in that game, but it was a lot closer than that final score would suggest, and it ended up being a very similar game to what the two teams played when they came here in the regular season a year ago. Milford got out to a big lead in that game last week, only to see Damon Taylor, the QB for the Redhawks, stage a dramatic fourth quarter comeback that pulled the team to within one score. But Milford was able to get a big boost from Romeo Holland on a 70-plus yard touchdown run late in that fourth quarter to keep Milford ahead for good. And again, Milford walked away from Natick with a 42-27 victory. So the second week that Milford's been able to get to that 42-point threshold, as once again their offense has been dominant. They've scored a total of 118 points through their first 3 weeks of the season. That is the top mark in terms of points scored in the Kelly Rex division. It's the second overall in the Hockomock League, only to the Mansfield Hornets down in the Davenport division. And so Milford firing on all cylinders coming into this matchup tonight. Attleboro, meanwhile, they've had some lean years in the last recent seasons, struggling against Hockomock League competition.
Your attention to midfield for this evening's coin toss.
But they underwent a lot of changes in this offseason, including at the head coaching position with Jim Winters taking over the program. And they have gotten off to a superb start to the season, thanks in large part to the play of their junior quarterback, Matt Harvey, who has thrown 7 touchdowns over the first conference competition. So this week is really where the rubber meets the road to see how well these teams stack up against their fellow division opponents. And so right now the captains for these two squads out on the field, and we're about to see the results from the coin toss right now. And so Milford has won the coin toss. They have elected to receive. And so we will see the Scarlet Hawks offense out on the field first to start this game tonight. Just a couple of minutes away from the kickoff. The energy starting to ramp up out on the field. Our first real taste of fall weather here at the Milford Turf Field tonight. Some crisp fall conditions out there, but these fans still continuing to gather in here, ready to settle in for the first of 4 straight home games here at the Milford High School football field. Well, we are about to get the national anthem down at field level, courtesy of the Milford High School Marching Band. So we will step aside very briefly, and then it will be time to get this game started. It is Milford taking on Attleboro, and it starts next here on Milford TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise for the playing of our national anthem, performed this evening by the Scarlet Hawks Marching Band.
Welcome right back in. It is time for kickoff. Milford already out on the field, set to receive this opening kick. The usual suspects backed up deep. Damian Carter alongside Isaiah Pantalone. And Attleboro set to drive this kick away. Once again, the head coach for the Attleboro Bombardiers is Jim Winters. The head coach for the Scarlet Hawks is Dale Olson.
Number 4, Anthony Salviati set to kick off.
Anthony Salviati out on the field, a good all-purpose player for the Bombardiers, doing kicking duties here to get started. This ball takes a bounce right at the 15, gathered in by Damian Carter, lowers the head, drives forward past the 25.
Damian Carter on the return.
And brought down right around the 27-yard line. That is where the Scarlet Hawks will start this game on offense.
13-yard return. First and 10.
The official starting line of scrimmage is the Milford 28-yard line. Evan Cornelius in the shotgun. He has been productive as you would expect, and the ball right into the hands of Romeo Holland, who has put this team on his back the last few weeks. The ball comes out towards the end of that run.
Romeo Holland on the carry.
And no signal of a change of possession, so Milford able to fall on that ball. Holland, who was the big hero at the end of the game last week, was also the workhorse a couple of weeks ago against Wellesley with 4 rushing touchdowns. He's scored a total of 6 rushing TDs on the season, able to carry that ball out to the 35-yard line, where it will be 2nd down and 3. Cornelius this time will toss it over towards the near side. A little dump off for Pantalone, tries to cut back towards the middle, able to get the first down as he comes to a stop just shy of the 45.
And that play is good for Scarlet Hawks.
So Pantalone with his first reception. We'll see how this Bombardier secondary is able to control Pantalone as this game goes on. Attleboro has been very good defensively. They've also been a ball-hawking secondary through the first 3 weeks of this season. They have come away with 3 turnovers, 4 scores through the first 3 weeks of the season. Cornelius again to throw, this time over the middle, off the hands of Scudo, and incomplete right at the first down line. That ball hits Scudo in his hands, but it drops to the turf for an incompletion. Nate Scudo with a long touchdown grab, made a nifty slide into the end zone last week against Natick. 2nd down and 10 here for the Scarlet Hawks from their own 44. Deep drop this time for Cornelius, has to rush the throw. It was in the direction of Nick Araujo, but incomplete as Attleboro was able to bring pressure into the backfield.
Third down and 10, Milford.
So now 3rd down and 10 for the Hawks. The ball still on the 44. Milford taking their time on this possession. Everyone staring off towards the sideline to get the play call. Milford now back to the line of scrimmage, ready to go. Still in the early stages of this first quarter. Another drop back for Cornelius, eyeing that far sideline. This ball well out of the reach of Scudo.
Cornelius falls incomplete. Pass was intended for number 28, Nate Scudo.
No flag on the field, so an overthrow there for Cornelius, and Milford, after that early running play and reception for Pantalone, not able to get anything else accomplished, and so a punt coming up here for Araujo.
Number 18, Nick Araujo in punt formation.
This punt fair caught just outside the 20-yard line by Anthony Salviati.
This punt is fair caught by number 4, Anthony Salviati.
So we've already seen Salviati in the kicking game, in the return game. Salviati was one of the top offensive players for this team last season, gained 800 yards of all-purpose offense in just 8 games played last season. This was an offense for Attleboro that struggled last season. They scored the second fewest points in the Hockomock League, but they have done well through their first 3 weeks of the season. Their junior quarterback, Matt Harvey, dropping back, airing it out down the far side, and that one well out of the reach of the intended receiver. That was number 5, Aiden Ramirez.
Matt Harvey falls incomplete. Pass is intended for number 5, Aiden Ramirez.
Harvey has used a lot of his skill position players. He's gotten a lot of people involved in the offense,
on their own 21-yard line,
with Ramirez being one of them. Again, Harvey out of the shotgun. He hands it off up the middle, and that running play will make its way out towards the 25-yard line. Looks like they'll mark him down at the 26.
Number 7, Adrian Rivera on the carry.
That was Adrian Rivera on the carry for the Bombardiers, setting up 3rd down and 5.
5-yard gain on the play. 3rd and 5. Attleboro on their own 26.
Clock down to 9 minutes and 45 seconds in this first quarter. Rivera again in the backfield for Attleboro, off the left hip of Harvey. Hard count here for Harvey, and Milford brings the house. Harvey able to get a pass away, but just back to the original line of scrimmage, and Milford able to bring Rivera down. So Attleboro avoids the sack, but they take a loss on the play, and it will be 4th down and 9, and a likely punt coming up. Milford brought heavy pressure there on Harvey.
Loss of 4 on the play. That brings it 4th and 9. Attleboro on their own 22.
So Milford's defense forces a 3 and out to start the day for Attleboro, and so neither side able to get much going offensively on each of their first drives. Milford will have very good field position to start their second possession, with that punt fair caught at the 45-yard line. The last 2 times these teams have met head-to-head, Attleboro has not been able to score a single point. It has been shutout victories for Milford in each of the last 2 head-to-head meetings the previous 2 seasons. Running play here for Milford on 1st down, and a good second effort there for Holland as he is able to muscle his way into Attleboro territory. That ball spotted
7-yard gain on the play.
at the Attleboro 49-yard line. They'll call it the 48. 2nd down and 3 with the clock ticking down towards 8 minutes to play here in the first quarter. And Cornelius will once again feed Holland. He is stopped short of the 1st down. It was number 22, Ethan Lako, a senior for Attleboro, that was able to stop the progress of Holland.
46-yard line.
3rd down and 1 coming up now for the Hawks. This time it is Arujo in the backfield. Arujo able to protect that football, slice his way up the middle. He has the 1st down and plenty more, as he will be marked down at the Attleboro 35. This core of running backs
11-yard gain on the play. 1st and 10
has proven to be difficult for opponents to contain. Milford able to change things up between Holland, Arujo, Swineford, and here a dangerous pass on 1st down, softly lobbed over to the far side of the field, and it ends up incomplete in the direction of Nate Scudo. He was hit as that ball arrived. It will be 2nd down and 10. Looks like Swineford in there now for the Scarlet Hawks. And a little bit of trouble with the handoff, and Swineford is going to get wrapped up. Not much territory gained there as Rivera was able to rip him down. Adrian Rivera for the Bombardiers.
Adrian Rivera in on the stop.
A little trouble getting that ball out.
Loss of one on the play. 3rd and 11, Milford.
It'll be 3rd down and 11 here for the Hawks as they try to get their offense back in gear. It was a scoreless first quarter last week as Milford and Natick eased into that matchup, but Milford eventually able to get on the board with a long touchdown connection between Cornelius and Cam Phillips, hauling in his first touchdown of the season. Here on 3rd and 11. Cornelius guns it over the middle, and it is picked off. It was number 11, Brody McKenna, with the pick. It looked like he might have run into the official, and that slowed him up. So Cornelius throws his first interception of the season. Indeed, a little contact there with the officiating crew, so.
1st down and 10 for the Bombers on their own.
Cornelius had plenty of time there in the pocket. Sent that ball over the middle and nobody home except for McKenna. So Attleboro takes over, and a quick strike over the middle is incomplete.
Pass by Matt Harvey falls incomplete. Pass was intended for number 5.
2nd down and 10 coming up for the Bombardiers.
2nd and 10 before
as they start this possession from their own 36. So we mentioned it right off the top of the broadcast. Attleboro has scored 3 defensive touchdowns on the season, 2 of them interceptions returned for touchdowns, 1 fumble recovery for a touchdown. And so this defense just has a nose for the ball and an ability to make big plays, and they were able to make one here in the first quarter, creating the game's first turnover. And Milford now again swarming around Matt Harvey. He's able to get away from the pressure, and he completes this ball right at midfield as it's hauled in by Salviati.
Pass by Matt Harvey is complete. Caught by number 4, Anthony Salviati. Play good for Attleboro.
So a good scramble there for Harvey as Milford had him surrounded. He was able to get away, and a good job for Salviati to come back to the football. He gets the first down just shy of midfield, as it turns out, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bombardiers from the 48-yard line as Milford calls their first timeout of the half. And Attleboro showing some good confidence and good playmaking here so far in the first quarter. As we take a look back through the first 3 weeks of the season for the Bombardiers, all non-conference games. They opened the season on the road against the Durfee Hilltoppers on September 9th, earned a 35-6 victory. Then it was to their home field on the 16th to take on one of their crosstown rivals, the Bishop Fee and Shamrocks, earning a 27-7 victory in week 2. And then last week playing at New Bedford,
Bombardiers on their own 48.
It was a 20-0 win for the Bombardiers. So solid wins through the first 3 weeks of the season. Now first down coming out of the timeout. This carry will go to midfield in the hands of Adrian Rivera. Less than 6 minutes remain in this first quarter. A quiet Milford crowd here so far. A smattering of Bombardier fans making the trip here to Milford, clad in blue over in the visitors' bleachers.
On the Milford 49-yard line.
2nd down and 7 with the football onto the Milford side of the field on the 49. Harvey in the shotgun, Rivera in the backfield as well. Harvey looking to throw. That ball tipped and it's picked off. Milford getting a hand on it, a flag, 2 flags now coming in at the end of the play with a Attleboro player down. It is the quarterback, Harvey, who is down on the field. Multiple flags came in at the end of that play. And so getting a quick second look at it on our live stream, it did look like there was a hard hit delivered by Milford away from the play on the quarterback. And that no doubt drew those multiple flags. And so Harvey remains down on the field. And so there will be a defenseless player penalty coming up here for the Scarlet Hawks as Harvey is helped to his feet. An EMT out on the field. They will take a watchful eye on Harvey as he gingerly heads to the sidelines. And just 24 hours after we saw just a gut-wrenching injury to Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa last night, I should say, in the Thursday night game. Just very scary to see hard contact against a quarterback again, and especially in a defensive position like that. Very atypical kind of play from the Scarlet Hawks squad. So Milford will retain possession.
15 yards from the end of the run. Milford ball, 1st and 10.
A 15-yard penalty assessed for that defenseless player penalty. And with everything going on that play, we did not see who came away with the pick. Isaiah Pantalone with this reception here on 1st and 10 for the Scarlet Hawks. Everyone stunned into silence after that play. Milford immediately grabbing momentum back, but certainly concerned for the injury to the junior quarterback for Attleboro. Second down and 2 now after that Pantalone completion. And now this ball broken loose by Romeo Holland, and he is ahead of the defense and in for the touchdown.
Touchdown, Milford.
So after an exchange of turnovers, it is Holland with the 57-yard strike.
Number 18, Nick Arujo into the point after.
Scoring his 7th rushing touchdown of the season, another long one. He scored from 74 yards out to ice that victory against Natick last week. Now breaks this one loose from 57 yards out. And now the extra point from Nick Arujo is good.
His kick is good. Try successful.
So an exchange of turnovers, and then we see the first score of the game, courtesy once again of Milford's Romeo Holland, who continues to have an incredibly impressive start to this 2022 season. 7 rushing touchdowns now. And Milford takes a 7-0 lead. 4 minutes and 58 seconds still remain in this first quarter.
Teachers Driving Academy. Thank you to all of our sponsors for your support of Scarlet Hawk football.
So Romeo Holland, that his 2nd longest rushing touchdown of the season, again second only to that
number 18, Nick Arujo, set to kick off.
74-yard rushing touchdown last week against the Natick Redhawks. Milford has done the bulk of their scoring in their ground game this season. As this ball is delivered all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So out to the 20-yard line for the Bombardiers, and
1st and 10 for the Bombardiers from their own 20-yard line.
We'll see who emerges here to take over under center, if it's Harvey or if we'll see a backup option here with, again, that injury happening moments ago to Harvey, but it does appear that the junior is back out there, so that is great to see. Matt Harvey back out. And before we see a snap. Attleboro will take their first time out of the half, so that keeps the clock paused at 4 minutes and 58 seconds remaining. And so we will take a quick pause here on the broadcast as well. 7-0, Milford striking first here in this Kelly Rex Division showdown. Back with more in just a moment here on Milford TV.
First and 10 on the 20-yard line.
Attleboro spreads them out wide here. First and 10 from their own 20-yard line. And Harvey hit as he throws. He delivers that over the middle. It is complete. And the receiver driven out of bounds. That looks to be Cole McKenna with the reception for Attleboro. And just enough for the first down.
Pass by Matt Harvey is complete. Caught by number 8, Cole McKenna. Play good for an Attleboro first down.
He gains 11.
Gain of 11 on the play. First
So
and
that
10.
puts the ball out at the 31-yard line with 4.5 minutes remaining now in the first quarter. Again, Harvey looks to throw. A quick dump off is complete once again to Adrian Rivera.
Pass is complete. Caught by number 7, Adrian Rivera.
Shy of the first down this time. Just barely.
9-yard gain on the play.
Second down and inches to go.
2nd and 1 for the Bombardiers on their own 40.
Once again in the backfield, just to the left of the junior quarterback, Matt Harvey. Takes a deep drop. Arujo in pursuit, and Harvey has to rush the throw. It's incomplete at the feet of Aiden Pantages. No intentional grounding on the play.
It brings up 3rd and 1. Bombardiers on their own 40-yard line.
So it'll now be 3rd down and 1 yard to go for the Bombardiers. The clock paused right now at 3:31. Still in the first quarter. Milford leading by 7. This time Attleboro keeps it on the ground, and a good second effort looks to have the first down for the Bombardiers. Again, it's Rivera that was able to cut through just enough for the first. The ball now spotted on the Attleboro 44-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 once again. The clock will now tick under 3 minutes to go in the quarter. Harvey will once again put it in the hands of Rivera here on first down. He is able to collect the first down and more as he gets past the 40-yard line down to the 39 of the Scarlet Hawks. Good balanced attack here for the Bombardiers in the first quarter.
Go, 17-yard gain on the play. 1st and 10. Bombardiers on the Milford 40-yard line.
Milford hasn't really played a close game yet on the season. Each of these first weeks they've been able to stake themselves out to hefty leads, and they ended up playing their way back into a close game in the fourth quarter last week against Natick, but they had a big lead. That certainly helped them out to stay in front in that one. Here, Harvey slings it down the far side. It is incomplete, but a flag comes in. That was Aiden Ramirez going through double coverage.
There is a flag on the play.
Milford had Jaden Archibald and Aiden Watson covering. But it's going to be a pass interference call against the Scarlet Hawks.
Milford is the call.
So a 15-yard penalty assessed for the defensive pass interference, and this is going to set Attleboro up well. With the ball spotted now at the Milford 25 with an even 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Harvey turns around, puts this ball in the hands of number 22, Ethan Lako.
Number 22, Ethan Lako on the carry.
Lako able to sneak inside the 20. The ball all the way down to the 18-yard line, second down and 4. Lako again in the backfield for Harvey. They fake the handoff this time, and the ball is intercepted. Yes, indeed, there is the call, and that looked to be Nick Arujo, who was able to get his hands on the football. Excellent read by Arujo. He laid out. That ball was intended for Brody McKenna. Senior, I beg your pardon, the junior Nick Arujo able to make the big defensive play, the second interception for this Milford defense. So Milford takes over from their own 17-yard line, and here is Ronan Swineford out into the open field. Does he have enough? No, he'll be tracked down by Aiden Ramirez, but Swineford rips off a huge run to start this drive. Didn't have enough to gain the separation for the touchdown, but a 49-yard run. And now here is Arujo. He sneaks away from the defense, and two big runs for Milford. First from Swineford, and then Arujo finishes it off with the touchdown. And just like that, Milford is on the verge of doubling their lead. Arujo scoring the touchdown, and now about to kick the extra point. And that extra point just sneaks inside that far upright, and so
and that makes your score Milford 14, Attleboro 0.
Arujo with the pick, and then Arujo with the score, and the Scarlet Hawks now up 14-0 on Attleboro. More action coming up in just a moment here on Milford TV.
Number 18, Nick Arujo, is set to kick off.
So Arujo doing a little bit of everything. The interception, a 34-yard rushing touchdown, kicking the point after, and now about to kick this ball back to the Bombardiers. 34-yard strike for Arujo, right on the heels of a 49-yard rush for Ronan Swineford. As this line drive kick takes a big bounce over the head of both the return men, and it'll be another touchback. 1:16 to play.
Yes. Yep. And it just, you know, and that's
First and 10, Bombardiers.
As Attleboro will once again start from their own 20. Harvey dropping back. He's going to send this ball deep down the near sideline, and it is intercepted once again. And this time it is Isaiah Pantalone with the pick. And so Harvey throwing interceptions on consecutive throws. And you just have to wonder about the play call there for Attleboro. They've had their last 3 drives end now on picks. Trying to do a little too much on that first play of that possession, and now Milford has the ball right back. The ball spotted on their own 46 as the give goes to Holland.
Holland on the carry. On the play. Second and 8, Milford on their own 48
So just 2 yards on that rush for Holland. Less than a minute to go in what has been an adventurous first quarter for these two teams. These defenses have combined for 4 turnovers, 3 of them for the Milford defense. 14-0 Hawks lead. And the snap will come with less than 30 seconds to go in the quarter. Pantalone in motion. The pitch back to Holland, and he's able to tiptoe down the sideline for a couple of positive yards. The flag does come in back towards the middle of the field. And so a holding call against the Scarlet Hawks is going to bring this ball back.
10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay, second down.
Ball backed up now to the Milford 40-yard line. Second down and 16. Looks like we'll get one more play squeezed out of this first quarter as Cornelius backs up to throw. Good protection in the backfield as Pantalone hauls that in and is able to come down inbounds. Incredible body awareness there for Pantalone as he's able to haul that in right at midfield. He ends up out of bounds with 3 seconds left, so not quite done with this first quarter yet. 10-yard grab there for Pantalone. Sets up 3rd down and 6. Cornelius again looks to throw. Nice easy pass over towards the far side of the field, but just out of the reach of Pantalone, and that will be the final play of this first quarter. So Milford will face a 4th down and 6 when we begin second quarter action. That will come your way right after this. So again, stay with the coverage here of Scarlet Hawks Athletics on Milford TV.
Fourth down and 6, Milford on the 50-yard line to begin the second quarter of play.
So a punt here for the Scarlet Hawks as the second quarter starts, and Milford able to get to that football before it crosses the goal line, giving the Bombardiers a long field here. That ball down to inside the 5. And so that was Anthony Maeda who was able to down that ball down inside the 5-yard line.
The Attleboro 4-yard line. First and 10.
They mark him down at the 4, so that is where this drive will start for Attleboro. Tight formation here for the Bombardiers on first down, and early movement. They'll call it a false start on Attleboro, so this will back them up half the distance to the goal.
That penalty will be half the distance to the goal.
And so a long field gets a little bit longer here as they will now spot the football at the Attleboro 2, first down and 12. Now into second quarter action. And they'll sneak forward for maybe a yard as Harvey keeps it. And for a team that has committed 3 turnovers on their last 3 possessions, this is not the spot on the field that they want to be operating.
Second and 12, Bombardiers on their own 2.
Still in the opening minute of this second quarter, another very tight formation here for the Bombardiers. They hand it off on second down and 12 after no gain on the previous play, and this time Attleboro is able to get the ball
Number 7,
out past the 10-yard line. It looks like they'll be just shy of the first down, just a yard shy. And so now a little bit more breathing room for Harvey.
Gain of 11 on the play. 3rd and 1, Bombardiers on their own 13-yard line.
3rd down and 1. Handoff to Rivera, and he's able to get enough for the first down.
His run good for a Bombardier first down.
So Attleboro showing the formation similar to the old war package we used to see here in Attleboro, or in Milford, I should say, for a number of seasons. And they'll continue out of that tight formation, keeping the ball on the ground and able to get out close to the 20, and now forward progress stopped.
Rivera on the carry.
This keeps the clock rolling down towards 9.5 minutes to play in this first half. A gain of 4 on that running play. So Coach Winters for Attleboro completely changing up the offensive style here. Looks like they'll open things up a little bit now on second down and 6. Harvey from the shotgun, but hands it off to Ethan Lako. And Lako's going to be dragged back. Looks like he was able to get ahead for 2 yards. So that'll set up a 3rd down and about 4. Real deliberate pace to this possession for Attleboro, trying to reset.
On their own 22-yard line.
Long huddle for the Bombardiers. Now they take the line. Harvey in the shotgun with a running back to his left. He rolls out now, sends it over the middle, complete to number 11, Brody McKenna. Ball came loose at the end, and eventually it was Aiden Ramirez who was able to fall on it. In the end, Attleboro will get the first down, but nearly another turnover there as Milford did jar that ball loose, but Attleboro very fortunate to have Ramirez there to fall on that ball, and nice camera work by our sideline camera, operated tonight by Milford High School senior Emily Champagne. So 1st and 10 now from the 35, and they put it back in the hands of Aiden Ramirez. Beg your pardon, Aiden Rivera.
Adrian Rivera on the carry.
Adrian Rivera with that carry. Both Aiden Ramirez and Adrian Rivera playing a big role in the offensive attack for the Bombardiers this season and tonight as well. 2nd down and 4. As there is Rivera again, and this time he is forced back. Looked like Ryan O'Connor in on that tackle for the Milford defense.
Mason Baldick and Aiden Watson in on the stop for the Scarlet Hawks. 1 yard gain on the play. 3rd down and 3. Bombardiers on their own 42.
Mason Baldick, number 54, in on that tackle for the Hawks. 3rd down and 4 now for Attleboro as we dip under 6.5 minutes in the 2nd quarter. Harvey rolling out. Cornelius bearing down on him, able to get the pass away. And then Romeo Holland able to make the tackle, stopping Attleboro shy of the 1st down. So it'll be 4th down and 1 here. And right now the offense still out there on the field for Attleboro, still on their own side of the field. The ball spotted now at the 44. And for a team that has been turnover prone on the night, they will go for it here on 4th and 1. Harvey right now trying to get Milford to jump off sides with the hard count. Everybody's standing firm, and so that forces Attleboro into the timeout. So trying to draw Milford off sides, but they would not do it. And so we'll see if after the timeout, Attleboro elects to punt. Right now the clock stopped with 5 minutes and 29 seconds to go. This is the first of 4 consecutive home games for the Scarlet Hawks. We will have them all covered for you here on Milford TV, streaming live on our YouTube page. And of course, while we mentioned the YouTube live stream, a shout out to all of our fans who are tuned in tonight via our YouTube live stream. Once again, a good number of live viewers tuning into our football coverage, and whether you're a fan of Milford or Attleboro, we're so happy to have you with us. After this week, Milford will be home again next week to take on the North Attleboro Rocketeers, and then it will be the big matchup with the King Philip Warriors on October 14th, and then a non-conference matchup with Barnstable High School before Milford plays their final road game before the playoffs are determined against Franklin on October 28th. The offense still out on the field for Attleboro out of the timeout. They run it up the gut, and they'll get the 1st down. So Attleboro goes for it, and it pays off. A fresh set of downs now as the clock continues to roll down to the final 5 minutes of this 1st half. Temperatures continuing to cool down as this game goes on. 1st and 10 now from the Attleboro 48. High snap, Harvey pulls it down, puts it in the hands of Rivera, and he is immediately met by the Milford defense. So Andrew Rivera meeting Adrian Rivera on that tackle.
Andrew Rivera in on the stop with the Scarlet Hawks. 1 yard gain on the play. 2nd and 9. Bombardiers on their own 49.
They give Attleboro a yard of forward progress on that run, setting up 2nd down and 9 from the Attleboro 49 with the clock rolling here. So it's been a long possession for Attleboro just to get themselves to midfield. This possession started from their own 4. They were backed up all the way to the 2 after a penalty. And now Harvey flushed out of the pocket. He'll send this one down the far sideline. Nobody home. And ball incomplete.
Damian Carter in on coverage for the Scarlet Hawks.
So it'll be 3rd down and 9 now for Attleboro.
That brings up 3rd and 9. Bombardiers.
Clock right now paused at 3 minutes and 58 seconds to go. The Milford High School boys soccer team was out on this field earlier this afternoon while we were setting up, taking on the Taunton Tigers. Walked away with a 4-0 victory. So it's now been 4 straight wins for the boys soccer team. 3rd down and 9, meanwhile, for Attleboro. Time here for Harvey. Now sends it to the near sideline and off into the Milford bench. Incomplete. Good coverage in the secondary all around for Milford, and a likely punt coming up here for the Bombardiers. Ethan Lako out to make the kick. And so 3 minutes and 51 seconds to go as Pantalone, along with the freshman CJ Farrell, lined up to receive the kick. This kick towards Pantalone. Fair catch called for and hauled in by Pantalone just past the 20-yard line. They spot the ball down at the Milford 22, so Attleboro able to escape that drive with no turnovers. Bombardiers offense pushing Milford through the early stages of that first quarter, but eventually turnovers really became a huge factor, and it just seems like now this Attleboro offense has been out of sorts while Milford has started to settle back into their dominant running game. Ronan Swineford getting the carry on the first play of this drive, able to make his way forward for a couple of yards. Swineford with that 49-yard rush, setting up the Arujo touchdown on Milford's last drive.
On their own 23.
2nd down and 9 for the Hawks. Back to Holland in the backfield. Farrell in motion. The give goes to Holland. Holland running off the far side. Flags come in behind the play as Holland makes his way inside Attleboro territory.
There is a flag on the play.
And it looks like this ball is coming back. Another holding call going against the Scarlet Hawks, so that will negate a nice run for Holland.
Holding on Milford is the call. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay, 2nd down.
So this is going to back the Scarlet Hawks up. Ball now spotted back at the 23. Beg your pardon, the 22-yard line. Cornelius throwing in the direction of Farrell, but that ball was short and incomplete.
Pass was intended for number 14, CJ Farrell.
3rd down and 10 now for Milford.
On their own 22.
Cornelius dropping back to throw. has Pantalone on the far side, and that pass is caught right at the 30-yard line. And Pantalone able to do enough to get Milford the first down.
11-yard gain on the play.
A nice third down conversion there between Cornelius and Isaiah Pantalone. So first and 10 now from the 33. Cornelius through traffic, and that ball through the hands of Cam Phillips, incomplete.
Pass was intended for number 87, Cameron Phillips. That brings up second and 10 Milford on their own 33.
A lot of defensive players there over the middle. Cornelius forcing that ball in. It was catchable for Phillips. Lands incomplete. Now back to Holland on second down. Holland, once again, a tough customer to bring down. It's going to set up a third down and 4.
Third and 5, Milford.
We now have less than 2 minutes to go in the half. And Milford wants to talk this over. They take their second timeout of the half. The clock paused right now with 1 minute and 42 seconds to go. And while we have a quick break in the action, we once again want to spread the word to all of our Milford TV viewers out there that coming up on October 20th, we will be celebrating our 10th anniversary. We'll also be celebrating Community Media Day. It's all part of a fundraising event that we'll be hosting over at Craft Roots Brewery. We'll have some great entertainment lined up on the night, raffle prizes. Admission to the event gets you a free beverage at Craft Roots. So we hope everyone comes out to celebrate with us. Tickets can be purchased on our website, so just head over to milfordtv.net to purchase your tickets today. And certainly, if you have enjoyed our Milford High School sports coverage over the years, we'd love to have your support as we look to continue our operations moving forward for another decade. So again, we hope you'll save the date, Thursday, October 20th, for our 10th anniversary fundraiser. A minute and 42 seconds left in this second quarter. Milford leading 14-0. Cornelius is going to run this ball himself. He has the first down, and he will sneak his way out of bounds at the 46.
And that play is good for the Scarlet Hawks. 7-yard gain on the play. First and 10, Milford on their own 45.
Line of scrimmage, the Milford 45. Cornelius with Holland to his left, has pressure coming from behind, able to step up. Now will run with it and gets brought down hard.
Evan Cornelius on the keeper.
After a gain of maybe 1. Cornelius saw the pressure coming from the near side, but had a defender wrapping around from behind. Was able to step through the pressure. But all that for just a gain of 2, setting up second down and 8. With now 60 seconds left in this half. Pressure again on Cornelius. He gets this ball out. And it is complete to Cam Phillips. Cornelius had to rush that throw. Didn't get as much on it as he would have liked, but a nice job by Phillips of coming back to the football.
10-yard gain on the play. First and 10, Milford on the Attleboro 33.
And Milford trying to push the tempo now. A dump-off pass to Pantalone as he gets dragged down.
Pass by Cornelius is complete to Isaiah Pantalone.
And it looks like Milford's going to call their final timeout. It stops the clock with 30 seconds to go. So the offense trying to put this ball in the end zone one more time here in the half. They'll have a second down from the Attleboro 39 coming up after this timeout. Pair of rushing touchdowns in this half so far for Milford. A 57-yard strike by Romeo Holland. And then a 34-yard rushing touchdown for Nick Arujo. That score coming off of a turnover. The Milford student section clad in neon for the theme this week, giving their support to the team on the field. 30 seconds to go, 2nd down and 6 for the Hawks. As Cornelius drops back, has some time, has Nate Scudo on the near sideline. That ball juggled and lands incomplete. Good coverage in the secondary for Ethan Lako. Scudo had a couple of chances there at that grab. That ball popped straight up in the air, almost came back down in Nate's hands, but it lands incomplete. And it'll be 3rd down and 6 now for Milford. Romeo Holland in the backfield. And some early movement for the Bombardiers.
Offsides on Attleboro is the call. 5-yard penalty, replay, 3rd down.
So this will set up, instead of 3rd and 6, it'll be 3rd down and 1. Ball spotted at the Attleboro 34. Holland now moves over to Cornelius's right to pick up the pressure. Cornelius airs it out, looking for Pantalone, and it's out of his reach. Pantalone looking for a flag after the play, but he will not get one.
Pass was intended for Isaiah Pantalone. That brings it 4th and 1, Milford on the Attleboro 34.
It was Lako there in the secondary for Attleboro. Able to time that jump, break up that pass. Nice play defensively for Lako, and on 4th down and 1. And so they'll line up Nick Arujo for a 51-yard field goal try. And Attleboro will now take a timeout. These teams will talk it over. We haven't seen a successful field goal out of Nick Arujo so far this season. He was so steady in the kicking game for Milford last year. He was a real weapon. They'll test his leg from 51 yards out when this timeout is through. Owen Callahan, the backup quarterback, to hold.
Number 18, Nick Arujo, in for a 51-yard field goal attempt.
And so again, from 51 yards out, a good snap, a good hold, and the kick is a good hold, and the kick is Nick Arujo with a 50. This gets the fans pumped up. It gets the players pumped up on the sidelines.
17, Attleboro 0.
Straight all the way through. Outstanding kick for Arujo. And so that gives Milford now a 17-0 lead with just 10 seconds to go. So what more can you ask of Nick Arujo in this half? A rushing touchdown, an interception, and now a field goal. And he'll now kick this ball back to the Bombardiers with 10 seconds left. As you recall, Milford won the toss to open this game. They elected to receive, so it will be Attleboro who will have the football first in the second half. This kick will sneak down the near sideline. It stays in bounds. And no, it looks like they did bring the flag onto the field, so I do think we will see penalty yardage assessed here. So it looked for a moment like that ball was going to hug the near sideline, but it did in the end just sneak out of bounds before the return man picked it up. So we will have the penalty yardage assessed here before Attleboro starts this possession with 7 seconds remaining.
First and 10, Bombardiers on their own 35.
So this brings the ball out to the 35-yard line. And so Attleboro not looking for any heroics here at the end of the half. They kneel on the football, and that will bring us to halftime. And so Milford, again, with a pair of rushing touchdowns and a field goal. It was Nick Arujo with some big-time plays all around in this first half, and it all totals up to a 17-0 lead for Milford on top of Attleboro. And this will send us into halftime, so we'll bring our camera out wide so we can share with you any halftime festivities out on the field. We will take a pause here on the broadcast, but if you're joining us on our live stream coverage, we'll keep things going. And then in about 10 minutes, we will return for the start of the third quarter. Again, 17-0, Milford leading Attleboro, as we bring you live coverage of Milford High School football here on Milford TV.
Fans, it is now time for our Teacher Appreciation Night ceremony. The Milford Music and Band Organization, the Milford Cheer Team, the Milford Gridiron Club, and the Milford Football Family would like to take a moment to recognize all the Milford teachers for all of their hard work, dedication, and caring throughout the years, as they help forge the future of Milford and the greater community. These specific teachers on the field, and some of them unfortunately could not be with us this evening due to prior commitments, have made a tremendous impact on the seniors of our Milford band, cheer, and football team players. And our seniors want to thank and recognize them for their commitment to excellence. The following teachers were recognized by each senior. Teachers, when your name is called, please step forward to receive a thank you gift from our seniors. We'll start with the football players, followed by the cheer team and the band. Miss Voss being recognized by Tyler Potter. Mr. Basha being recognized by Mason Baldick. Mr. Cunningham being recognized by Evan Cornelius. Miss Franson being recognized by Alex McGuire. Mr. Liberto being recognized by Adam Arujo. Mr. Santomina being recognized by Joe Coplin. Mrs. Manning being recognized by Jacob Lagore. Miss Culhane being recognized by Usman Amir. Mr. Costa being recognized by Nick Casilli. Miss Lando being recognized by Romeo Holland and Ryan O'Connor. Miss Mitchell being recognized by Matt Donis. Mr. Onesian being recognized by Pat Delaney. Mrs. Gould being recognized by Cam Phillips. Miss Capitan being recognized by Guy St. Field. Miss Haranis being recognized by Jaden Archibald. Mr. Walsh being recognized by Ronan Swineford. And Mr. And a volley being recognized by Isaiah Pantalone. And now for the cheer team. Miss Lando being recognized by Ava Marshall. Miss Blanchard being recognized by Michaela Martelli, Noelle Casilli, and Bella Ferreira. Miss Cunningham being recognized by Anna Bushor. Mr. Cullen being recognized by Kendra Somerville and Kaya Somerville. Mr. Roy being recognized by Leah Tamani. Miss Smith being recognized by Ashley Tessa. Mrs. Johnson being recognized by Emily Franks. And Mr. D'Angelo being recognized by Julia Gonzalez. Now for the band. Miss Pomeroy is being recognized by McKenna Bogarts. Miss Lando being recognized by Elizabeth O'Connor. Miss Fall being recognized by Haley Jansen. And Mrs. Bode being recognized by Joseph Umina and Natalie Vicuña. Fans, how about a big round of applause for all of our teachers for all of their outstanding work. Now fans, please welcome back the Scarlet Hawks Marching Band to perform Fireball and Sweet Caroline. Number 18, Nick Arujo is set to take off for Milford to begin the second half.
Welcome back once again inside the football field here at Milford High School. We are finally ready to resume with second half coverage. Milford taking on Attleboro, a 17-0 lead for the Scarlet Hawks as Milford kicks the ball away to the Bombardiers to start this third quarter, and a nice tackle there as it looked like Attleboro was about to get loose on the far sideline. That kick coming back out to around the 33-yard line.
Ethan Lako on the return.
It was Ethan Lako on that return for the Bombardiers, and so much better starting field position on this possession than on their previous one for the Bombardiers.
On their own 33.
As they will start from their own 33. If you're just tuning in to the coverage, Milford building a 17-0 lead on the back of a 57-yard rushing touchdown for Romeo Holland, a 34-yard rushing touchdown for Nick Arujo, and then a 51-yard field goal from Nick Arujo. Milford's defense collected 3 turnovers in the first half, including interceptions by Nick Arujo and also Isaiah Pantalone.
1 yard gain on the play. Second and 9.
1 turnover for the Attleboro defense as well, as Brody McKenna was able to pick off Evan Cornelius in the first quarter. Junior quarterback Matt Harvey with the first pass play of the second half, and he sends it out of bounds.
Third and 9. Bombardiers.
Harvey was hit hard in the midst of a ball that was picked off in the first half. Had to be helped off the field, but then came right back out on Attleboro's ensuing possession. But a tough stretch in that first half for the Attleboro offense, where they had 3 straight drives end in picks. Pressure closing in on Harvey here. He sends this ball over the middle, but well out of the reach of his intended target, Aiden Pantages. Jaden Archibald was back there defensively for the Scarlet Hawks, and it's now 3rd down and 9.
That brings up 4th down and 9. Bombardiers.
I beg your pardon. It will now be 4th down and 9. And so a quick 3 and out, as it turns out, for the Bombardiers. Farrell and Pantalone lined up back around their own 35-yard line.
Isaiah Pantalone, deep from Milford.
Lako gets this kick away, and a fair catch called for by Pantalone. Perhaps that just shy of the 40. And so a possession that lasted just 59 seconds for the Bombardiers to open up the half, and Milford will immediately get the football back.
Please take out your 50-50 split the pot raffle tickets. We do have the winning number.
Milford will start this drive from their own 38.
842-6382. Again, that is 842-6382. If that ticket is yours, please come up to the press box to claim your winnings.
Cornelius puts Isaiah Pantalone in motion. He takes the sweep, able to spin off of 1 tackle, making his way close to midfield. He has the first down, just shy of the 50.
And that play is good for the Scarlet Hawks. 11-yard gain on the play. 1st and 10, Milford on their own 49.
Again, excellent work by Emily Champagne on the sidelines to bring us right up close to the action. Again, they put Pantalone in motion. This time the give goes straight up the middle for Holland. And Holland trying to drag a defender along, but eventually forward progress stopped at around the 46-yard line of Attleboro. So Milford inside enemy territory,
Second and 5, Milford.
where it will be 2nd down and 5. Holland scoring his 7th rushing touchdown of the season earlier in this game. Cornelius from the gun. A quick handoff to Nick Arujo, but he is met immediately by the defense, pushed back to midfield. So a 4-yard loss on that play pushes Milford back to the 50. Arujo stays in the backfield on this 3rd down and long play. Keep an eye on Pantalone. He's in the slot on the near side. Cornelius backs up and dumps it off over the middle. Had Pantalone coming across the field, but nowhere for Pantalone to go. Can't escape the defense this time. Able to only get back to the line of scrimmage, where it will be 4th down and 9, and a punt coming up here for the Scarlet Hawks. So similar to how the first half began, with 2 quick possessions without much yardage gained.
Number 18, Nick Arujo in punt formation.
Low snap picked up by Arujo. And his kick will take a bounce at the 20. Milford trying to track it down to create a long field once again for Attleboro, and they do. That ball down inside the 10. Looks like they'll spot that football at the Attleboro 6. So once again, a very long field in front of this Bombardiers offense.
Bombardiers on their own 6.
Clock right now paused at 8 minutes and 22 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Harvey puts a man in motion, and they hand it off to Adrian Rivera. And Rivera is knifed down with a good tackle by Romeo Holland. Attleboro able to get that ball out to the 10. It will be 2nd down and 6.
4-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 6. Bombardiers on their own 10.
Matt Harvey coming into this game had thrown 7 touchdowns through the first 3 weeks. No points on the board for the Bombardiers as we traverse through this 3rd quarter. And so for this Milford defense, they have now piled up 10 consecutive scoreless quarters against this Bombardiers team.
Again on the play. 3rd and 1, Bombardiers.
3rd down and 1 coming up here for Attleboro. These 2 teams met up in week 4 of the football season last year, and the result was a 28-0 victory for the Scarlet Hawks.
He's run good for a Bombardier 1st down.
Couple of passing touchdowns for Evan Cornelius in this matchup last season. A 31-yard strike to Damian Carter, a 27-yard touchdown to Isaiah Pantalone. And Milford shut out the Bombardiers in 2020 as well by a final score of 34-0. Attleboro did put up points in the matchup in 2019, but it was another Milford victory, 20-13. The last time Attleboro came out on top in this matchup was all the way back in 2018, where they were victorious over Milford 21-7. Flags come in on this running play for the Bombardiers.
Number 22, Ethan Lako on the carry. There are multiple
false start on the offense.
False start on Attleboro is the call.
Clock paused right now with 6:08 to play.
1st and 15, Bombardiers on their own 14.
Attleboro huddling up here on 1st and 15. The clock continuing to roll.
Heads up on one of those slots on screen.
Handoff up the middle for Lako. He was able to sneak away from initial contact, maybe getting an additional yard or two. Gonna set up 2nd down and 12. Make it 2nd down and 13 with the clock winding its way down towards 5 minutes. And again, not a real sense of urgency for Attleboro out there right now, continuing to be very deliberate in between plays. Down by 17.
2nd and 14. Bombardiers on their own 16.
This will take us down inside 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go as Harvey floats this ball out to the near sideline. It is incomplete over in the direction of Cole McKenna.
That brings it 3rd and 12, Bombardiers. From their own 17-yard line.
So it's now 3rd down and 13. As again, Attleboro tries to find a way to jumpstart this offense that has really been completely out of sorts since that string of interceptions in the first half. Harvey putting a man in motion. Drops back. Sends it over the middle, and it's in and out of the hands of Isaiah Pantalone, ever so close to his 2nd interception of the game. Hands on his hips in frustration at midfield, now stomping around. He knows he could have made that grab. It'll be a likely punt coming up here for Attleboro.
For the Bombardiers from their own 16-yard line.
And so a quarterback who seems to have a world of confidence coming into this game has really not been able to find his form tonight. He's thrown 3 picks, easily could have been 4 there.
1st and 10, Milford on their own 47-yard line.
And so after the punt, Milford will have field position at their 47-yard line.
Then as a reminder, as the game wears on, please put all trash in the trash containers. Do not leave trash in the stands.
With 4 minutes and 23 seconds to go.
In the trash bins. Don't leave it in the stands. Thank you.
Been a quiet crowd here at the Milford field this evening. Probably got the loudest at any point on the night after that Arujo 51-yard field goal. Cornelius now on 1st down. A quick pass with Alex Guerra crossing back towards the middle of the field, but it is incomplete. Alex Guerra, who we have seen as a key contributor to the success of the Milford boys volleyball team in the spring. Part of this receiving core for the Scarlet Hawks this fall. Outstanding athleticism for Guerra. Now it's Romeo Holland who forces the pile ahead inside Attleboro territory. Romeo Holland once again proving to be so difficult to bring down.
On the Attleboro 46.
Setting up 3rd down and 3 here for the Hawks. As this 3rd quarter, I should say, quickly winding down to 3.5 minutes to go. Back to Holland, back up the middle. Protecting that football as he comes to a stop just shy of the 35-yard line. Good for another Scarlet Hawks 1st down.
9-yard gain on the play.
Quick gain of 9 for Holland. Gets a rest on the sidelines. Continues to be a force to be reckoned with, transferring here to Milford for his senior season and making such an incredible impact. And now it's Cornelius faking the handoff to Arujo, but Attleboro was not fooled. Jaheim Kalixi on the coverage there for the Bombardiers in the backfield. Now this ball to the near sideline is caught by Pantalone.
Pass by Cornelius is complete to Isaiah Pantalone.
We haven't seen a lot of the flashy big yards after the catch plays for Pantalone in this game tonight, but he's been
7-yard gain on the play.
Effective in this passing attack.
On the Attleboro 33.
Helping Milford to continue to move the chains, to continue to win the time of possession battle. Fake the handoff again to Arujo, with Cornelius targeting Cam Phillips. That ball is a little off target, incomplete. And a 4th down play here, and right now Milford keeping the offense on the field. Romeo Holland checks back in for what is a 4th down and 6 coming up for Milford. The ball on the Attleboro 33. They put it in the hands of Holland, and this time Holland's not going to have enough. A good stop by Attleboro's Anthony Salviati. So a turnover on downs here for the Scarlet Hawks. Not a bad play call in that situation, up 17. Right spot on the field to do it. And certainly all the confidence in the world that Romeo Holland would be able to get that 6 yards to keep the possession going, but instead it's a turnover on down, so it's 1st and 10 now, Attleboro from their own 33.
1st and 10, Bombardiers on their own 33.
Minute 58 remaining in this quarter as Harvey drops back, has pressure coming, and he runs out of time. He is wrapped up for the sack.
Matt Harvey is sacked on the play. Number 62, Joe Copeland with the sack for the Scarlet Hawks.
That was Joe Copeland in on that sack for Milford.
Loss of 5 on the play. 2nd and 15. Bombardiers on their own 28-yard line.
A loss of 15 on that sack. A loss of 5, setting up 2nd down and 15. And under heavy pressure again here for Harvey. He throws that ball away.
Pass by Matt Harvey falls incomplete. Number 34, Andrew Rivera with the quarterback pressure. That brings up 3rd down and 15.
So now 3rd down and 15, and if you're Matt Harvey right about now, starting to look up at that clock, wondering how much of this game is left. It has been a nightmarish game for the Attleboro quarterback. He has been under intense pressure, struggling to find an answer against this aggressive Milford defense. He drops back here, a quick release, and it's over the reach of McKenna on the far side of the field. And this is going to lead to a very quick 3-and-out for the Bombardiers.
Bombardiers from their own 28-yard line.
Attleboro Just opening the doors of a brand new high school facility for this 2022-2023 school year. We've seen some of the photos and virtual tours online. It's quite an impressive facility. So these kids from Attleboro with a state-of-the-art building now. Something that I know Milford students and folks in the Milford community are certainly hoping will be the situation here in Milford in the not-so-distant future. Attleboro had also just recently done a complete overhaul of their football field as well. Back about 8 or 9 years ago. So terrific facilities down there in Attleboro all the way around now. Meanwhile, after the punt, it is 1st and 10 for the Scarlet Hawks from their own 39. Run up the middle for Holland on 1st down. Quick gain of 5. This clock still running now. Close to 30 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Cornelius now handing it off to Swineford, who takes a big hit from Adrian Rivera. And I would think that would be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Milford looking to the sideline as the final 3 seconds now will come off the clock, and so Milford will have a 3rd down and 6 play coming up as the first play of the 4th quarter. That play will come your way right after a very quick break here on the broadcast. Stay with the coverage here on Milford TV. These two teams playing a scoreless 3rd quarter, so it remains a 17-0 score. Milford on top of Attleboro as we start the 4th quarter. Once again, bringing you live coverage of Milford High School football on Milford TV on 3rd down and 6. A quick dump off to Nick Arujo, gets the 1st down and a whole lot more. Arujo stays on his feet as he's finally forced down inside the 30-yard line, but there's a flag all the way back at the line of scrimmage, and a hold will negate a big run for Arujo.
Holding on Milford is the call.
Attleboro brought pressure. Cornelius with the dump off, and Arujo with another big play. It has been his night to shine tonight, but that play gets wiped off the books on a holding call.
3rd down and 13.
And so instead we'll have 3rd down and 13 for the Scarlet Hawks back on the Milford side of the field. Cornelius with 3 wide receivers to the near side, and instead airs it out down the far side of the field, and a flag's going to come in here. Looks like we'll have a defensive pass interference. Aiden Ramirez out there in the secondary for the Bombardiers.
Holding on Attleboro is the call.
And so not pass interference, they call holding on the Bombardiers.
That penalty is 10 yards. Replay, third down. 3rd and 3, Milford on their own 46.
So now back to a 3rd down and short play for Milford. 3rd down and 3. And so they'll put it in the hands of Romeo Holland, and he is going to force his way ahead for the first down. No flags on the field. So Milford does move the chains. They do move back inside Attleboro territory. And this clock will move down towards 11 minutes to play.
7-yard gain on the play. 1st and 10, Milford on the Attleboro 47-yard line.
You have to give credit to the Attleboro defense in this game. Their offense has spent precious few minutes on the field, but the defense has not allowed this game to get completely out of hand. Just 17 points scored to this point for Milford as Arujo gets the ball, carries it down a yard shy of the first. Looks like 2 yards shy, as it turns out. Stays in bounds, the clock still rolling.
2nd and 1, Milford on the Attleboro 38.
Milford puts Ronan Swineford back in the backfield for the 2nd down and short play. And Swineford able to get forward progress enough for the first down.
And that play is good for the Scarlet Hawks. Three-yard gain on the play. 1st and 10, Milford on the Attleboro 36.
Another carry on 1st down for the Hawks.
Ronan Swineford on the carry.
Again, it's Swineford. Quick gain of 4. Swineford heads to the sideline. Arujo back out into the backfield as Milford keeps this clock steadily moving now inside of 9.5 minutes to go.
Milford on the Attleboro 32.
Arujo with a hole up the middle.
Nick Arujo, the ball carrier.
Gets down just shy of the 25, but they will signal to move the chains. So now they do get the chain gang moving over on the far side of the field. Another fresh set of downs for the Hawks.
Six-yard gain on the play. 1st and 10, Milford on the Attleboro 26.
Milford will snap this ball with just over 8.5 minutes to go. They fake the handoff. Cornelius airs it out, looking for Phillips in the end zone, and it is complete for the touchdown. A 26-yard touchdown catch for Cam Phillips. 2nd week in a row with a touchdown grab for Cam. And Milford tacks on to the lead. It's 23-0 with the point after coming up.
Number 18, Nick Arujo, into the point after attempt.
Arujo out for the point after. Just able to get the kick away. The kick is good.
His kick is good. Try successful.
And so Milford increases the lead now to 24-0 with 8 minutes and 31 seconds to go. And so for Evan Cornelius, that is his 4th touchdown pass of the season. His 2nd touchdown pass from 26 yards out. 2nd touchdown reception for Cam Phillips on the season. Phillips opened up the scoring for Milford last week against Natick with a 46-yard touchdown grab. And so Milford just continuing to extend the depth at these skill positions. As we look through the scoring stats on the season, Isaiah Pantalone has 2 touchdown receptions. Cam Phillips now with 2 touchdown receptions. Scudo's hauled in a touchdown grab. And again, the rushing touchdowns have come fast and furious this season. Evan Cornelius has 4 rushing touchdowns. Scudo has 1 rushing TD. Holland now with 7 rushing touchdowns. And Nick Arujo with a rushing touchdown. Owen Callahan, Milford's backup quarterback, also with a rushing touchdown, as Attleboro tries a little trickery here on the return with the handoff to Pantages, able to get a little bit of extra room.
Number 22, Ethan Waco hands off number 1, Aiden Pantages on the return.
Ended up running out of bounds at the 25.
First and 10, Bombardiers on their own 25.
So Harvey back out there once again, has Rivera, and instead sends it to the near sideline. Almost knocked down by Andrew Rivera, but the pass was hauled in on the near sideline by Pantages. He then, looks like he was brought down inbounds. The clock still moving down towards 8 minutes to go. First and 10 now from the 36. Still, we don't see a no huddle out of Attleboro here. They put Rivera in motion out towards the far side of the field. That's where the pass goes. Caught, and then Rivera is eventually going to be brought down right around the 40-yard line. They'll set up 3rd down. Real interesting subplot for Attleboro coming into this season. Their head coach, Mike Strachan, stepped down from the position at the conclusion of last year after a disappointing season for the Bombardiers, and ended up taking over the head coaching job for Attleboro's biggest division rival, North Attleboro. Jim Winters taking over as head coach for this season. So you have to wonder if that Thanksgiving rivalry game will have a little bit more intensity to it, with Coach Strachan switching allegiances in the offseason. Meanwhile, an Attleboro player down on the field here, so the clock paused with an injury timeout with 7 minutes and 20 seconds to go. And so while the training staff comes out to attend to the injury, we'll take a pause here on the broadcast. Again, 7:20 to play here in the 4th quarter. A 24-0 lead for Milford on top of Attleboro here on Milford TV.
Five-yard gain on the previous play. 2nd and 5, Bombardiers on their own 41.
Back to action after the injury timeout. Harvey with a drop back. Airs it out towards the near sideline in the hands of Pantages, and he drops it.
Harvey's pass falls incomplete, intended for Pantages.
An easy catch there, but Pantages couldn't hold on. That ball getting a little slippery in the cool conditions here.
From their own 41-yard line.
6:54 to go in this 4th quarter. A 3rd down and 5 coming up for the Bombardiers. Talking about the North Attleboro Rocketeers and their new head coach, Mike Strachan. It will be the Rocketeers next up on the schedule for Milford, coming to town here next week on October 7th. Harvey forced out of the pocket, nowhere to go.
Harvey is sacked on the play.
And that'll go as the second Milford sack of the game.
Number 54, Mason Baldick in on the
Mason Baldick's going to get credit for the sack. The Milford captain having another impact game on defense.
Loss of 5 on the play. 4th and 10.
And Attleboro has no choice but to punt here, 4th down and 10.
Number 22, Ethan Lako, is in punt formation.
This ball is going to drift back to C.J. Farrell, who hauls it in right around the 22-yard line. And so another quick possession for Attleboro, and the ball back to the Scarlet Hawks, and no doubt a steady diet of this powerful running game coming up with just 6:09 to go. 1st and 10 from the 22.
First and 10, Milford on their own 22.
Quick toss over in the direction of Romeo Holland. He lowers the shoulder, rips a defender to the turf, refuses to go down, and is finally forced out
The ball carrier.
close to the 35-yard line.
And that play is good for the Scarlet Hawks.
It looks like he was forced out
14-yard gain on
at the
play.
36, so call it a gain of 14 for Holland. Clock continuing to tick down, under 5.5 minutes to go now. Cornelius using up that play clock, now gives to Swineford, who spills across the 40-yard line. Last week, Romeo Holland carried the ball 15 times for 171 yards and 2 touchdowns.
5-yard gain on the play.
That's another touchdown in this game today. Has once again been the workhorse of this running game. Getting a breather here, another chance for Swineford in the backfield. Cornelius using every bit of this clock once again. Again, turns around, puts it in the hands of Swineford, who continues to progress forward close to midfield. He has enough for the first down.
7-yard gain on the play. First and 10, Milford on their own 48-yard line.
The new line of scrimmage is the Milford 48. This game will dip under the 4-minute mark before the next snap. Milford putting the finishing touches on another quality performance. Low snap here. Cornelius will pick it up and run with it. And he's going to take a hard tackle in the backfield. That was Salviati who came in to hit the quarterback. And Cornelius a little bit slow to get back up. Now helped up by his teammates. And he's going to head to the sideline. Owen Callahan comes out onto the field.
Loss of on the play. Second and 11, Milford on their own 47.
Coaching staff checking on Cornelius, keeps close on the sideline. Looked to be moving okay as he headed over to the sideline. Right now getting checked on by athletic trainer Ashley Desco. Meanwhile, Callahan hands this one off to Swineford, able to pull down a high snap.
The ball carrier. Five-yard gain on the play. Third down.
So Cornelius is going to stay
on the Attleboro 48.
on the sideline as he continues to be looked at by the training staff. Don't sleep on Owen Callahan. Had a nice play in week 1 against Bridgewater Raynham, a 17-yard rushing touchdown. Another handoff to Swineford, tries to spin off contact, gets brought down shy of the 45, and it'll be 4th down coming up here for the Hawks.
2-yard gain on the play. 4th and 4, Milford. On the Attleboro 46.
So Cornelius getting some water now on the sideline. The helmet's still off. So Cornelius, who is typically a two-way player, also making heavy contributions on the defensive side. Looks like he might be a spectator for the final stretch of this game. We'll get down inside 90 seconds. Make it 91 seconds where Milford will call the timeout. They'll bring the team over to the sideline. So this game all but in the books. Milford on the verge of their 4th straight victory to start the season, and will then start to turn their focus towards the North Attleboro Rocketeers. Once again, a division opponent of Milford's, as the Rocketeers moved back up to the Kelly Rex division for this season, with Mansfield moving down to the Davenport. And we mentioned off the top of the broadcast too, the only team that has scored more points than Milford in the Hockomock League so far this year is Mansfield. They came into this week having scored 140 points to Milford's 118. We won't see a regular season meeting between those two teams, and from what we heard from Coach Olson in the preseason, Milford wanted to schedule a matchup with Mansfield, but Mansfield declined, so we won't have an opportunity to see those teams face off head-to-head. That's a shame. Cerrujo sends a punt away. Fair catch is made by Salviati.
Punt is fair caught by Salviati.
And so Attleboro will start this possession from their own 15-yard line with just 1 minute and 23 seconds to go.
39-yard punt. 1st and 10, Bombardiers on their own 15.
Attleboro putting their backup quarterback in for this final possession of the game. Number 16, Sean Mayer, hands the ball off on 1st down for a gain of a couple. And the clock quickly ticking down to the final 60 seconds.
Loss of 2 in the play. 2nd and 13.
So that last play, I beg your pardon, went for a loss of 2 yards. 2nd down and 12 coming up for the Bombardiers, and this might very well be the final play of the night coming up here with Mayer in the shotgun. Running play, backup running back as this ball squirts free. Attleboro's going to fall on it right around the 20-yard line.
Play recovered by the Bombardiers.
And so Attleboro, who came into this game with a lot of momentum at their back, with a high-scoring offense through the first 3 weeks, They pitched a shutout and a victory against New Bedford last week, but it will be Attleboro who suffers their third straight shutout defeat at the hands of the Scarlet Hawks here tonight, as Milford defeats the Attleboro Bombardiers by a final score of 24-0. And so Milford will indeed improve to a perfect 4-0 on the season. And with the loss, the Bombardiers will fall to 3-1. And so now it is time to prepare for a second straight week of division competition next week, as the Attleboro Bombardiers will come to town 1 week from tonight. That game once again happening here in Milford, which means you can count on live coverage once again here on Milford TV, streaming live on our YouTube page. We also hope to bring you coverage of girls soccer and girls volleyball next week, so we'll be locked and loaded with plenty of Milford High School sports coverage throughout the week next week. We hope you'll join us for all of that coverage. We want to thank all of our viewers who have been tuning in to the live stream here tonight. It was our biggest live audience of the season so far, so we thank you so much for joining us for this coverage, and we hope you'll check in with us again next week as well. And I also want to acknowledge our terrific crew here on Milford TV, doing great work throughout this game tonight. Our director for the game once again has been Jack Marino, and manning the cameras has been Scott Crisafulli and Emily Champagne. And I am Tim Coet. That final score, one final time, Milford defeats Attleboro by a final score of 24-0. This has been a presentation of Milford High School Athletics here on Milford TV. So long, everybody.